Thank you for
Thank you. We have a special presentation today by a local hero. Mr. Larsen has been around this area for
a long time. We'll leave it right there, a long time.
He has taught in 3 lakes. He lives in the St. Germain community, and he presently is teaching over in the Lakeland School District. So he's had a wide variety of experiences, and he's going to have a very interesting and inspiring presentation today. So please pay attention and give your full attention to Mr. Len Larsen.
Yeah, thank you. I am wise enough, do me a favor, seriously, and I know how this works. You see these things, I know they can be a distraction, and many of you have them and you have them on and all that kind of stuff. I'm actually going to turn mine off right now, because I took my wife's glasses by mistake this morning and she's not happy with me. So she keeps sending me texts like, be careful with them. So if you have your cell phone, I really would appreciate it that, you know, it doesn't interfere with what's going on today, whatever you have, because I'm really excited to be here. And I promise you this is one thing I can promise you. You will never be the same as you were as you walked in. I promise you that. Some of you will have dramatically and radically changed lives as a result of this. Now you're thinking, come on, really? Really? This will be 1 hour of your life that you will never, ever, ever, ever forget. This is all about you. This is truly all about you. It's all about digging deep into you and doing some things that you never thought you could do with your life. So I am very excited to be here. I'm going to focus a lot on stories. And I'm going to tell you this, about 90%, maybe almost 100% of the stories are about kids that walked through this same school you walked through. Most of the stories are about kids I've either taught, coached, or were friends of my boys. Now, all 3 of my boys graduated from this school. And they're all doing some incredible things right now. So I just want you to focus in, gather what you're going to get for yourself, walk out here empowered and changed. Now, when I started this, I started it primarily for seniors. And when I would get done with it, the seniors would say, Mr. Larsen, I wish I knew this stuff when I was a freshman. I kind of would have changed. So freshmen, we kind of let you in here because we just thought, well, okay, I heard it enough. Because there is truly power in an educated mind. This is a graduate from this school, and he's got an incredible life. And he's got an incredible story. Because, see, his dream didn't look like it was going to take place. I knew Double J for many, many years. Good friend of my son's. And when he was a senior in high school, he said, Mr. Larsen, I'm going to go to the Naval Academy. And I said, wow, that's a pretty big calling. Yep, I'm so excited I'm going to go. And he got his letter back for the Naval Academy and it said, rejected. You don't have the right stuff, can't come in. And he was really despondent, really broken. I said, Double J, what are you going to do? He said, you know what, I'm going to enroll in UW Stevens Point. So he went down to UW Stevens Point, got a 4.0, reapplied for the Naval Academy, got into the Naval Academy. Got a degree in civil engineering. They said, Mr. Larsen, I got to serve my country. I got to serve for 6 years. I said, Double J, let's talk about it. What do you want to do? He said, I've always wanted to fly. I said, that's cool. I said, I'd love to see you flying jets at 30,000 feet. It's a pretty safe gig. You don't have to worry about it. I said, no, that's not what I want to fly. I want to fly Black Hawk helicopters. Now, we were entrenched in Iraq. We were entrenched in Afghanistan. I said, Double J, that's a dangerous job, man. I said, a goat herder can take you out. He said, I understand that, Mr. Larsen. But this is what I want to do with my life. And that is exactly what he is doing with his life. He has had multiple tours overseas. He is stationed in San Diego. He's getting close to getting out. He's not sure what he was going to do. But I want to tell you something. He dreamed, he believed, and he achieved. And there is power in an educated mind. I'm going to tell you a lot of things, but guys, I believe this so much. You know, every night you turn the news on, there's always another thing. Well, if we get a new president, a new politician, if the gas prices go down, if we find oil, if we do this, if interest rates, if Wall Street, that's not the future of our country at all. That's not even close to the future of this country. Here's the future of this country, right here. It is your dreams. It is your dream, it is your dream, it is your dream, it is your dream. It is your skills. You need a skill set to achieve your dreams. It is your ambition How hard are you going to work? It's your integrity. If we take your generation and we build these things into you guys, and you guys go out and conquer whatever your dream is, we're fine. I don't get excited about how high Wall Street is or how low Wall Street is. I don't get excited about the price of gas. I don't get excited about politics. I get excited about you. That's what I get excited about. I've been doing this a long time, and I'll get to that in a second. Now, for this to happen, for this really truly to take place, the vision, the passion, the resolve of the greatness of your teachers, of your local leaders, of your parents, we have a job to do. I have a job to do. I've been doing it a long time. I still want to keep doing it, because if I can keep taking the vision I have for you and getting you excited and using my passion, we are in really good shape. We are in really good shape. Okay, get involved. Multiple choice. Take a look at those. You can raise your hand for more than one. Seniors especially, but it's going to come fast for all of you. In a few years, you will be out of this building, and you will be out on your own. How many are thinking, once I get out of high school, you know what, I've had enough school for a while, I want to go into the workforce, I want to learn a skill, I just want to, and be proud of what you want to do. Everything's good up here. Well, almost everything's good. Okay. How many want to go work, want to get a job, learn a skill, just go right into the workforce, make money? Okay? How many are thinking military careers? Raise your hand. Very good. I should see. That's very good. Excellent. Excellent opportunities. I'm going to tell you something about the military. It's like going to college now. It's hard to get in. You better have the right stuff if you want to get in. I got some great military stories. How many think there are 2-year tech programs? They're outstanding. Be proud of those. Raise your hand high. Those are great programs. And you're going to see some data on those programs. It's going to blow your mind. How many want a 4-year college degree? Raise your hand. Wow. Okay, when you're a speaker like me, you need to identify your audience. I saw a lot of hands go up. As a matter of fact, 100% of the hands went up for what I'm going to present. So guess what? You better focus in. Because I've got things here that are going to impact whether you're going to make it or not. Because I do not want to see any of you in the last category. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Study done in 2010. This is kind of exciting but very demoralizing. This is what a high school diploma will get you in the future of the United States of America. It'll get you a job at about 32 hours a week, making $8.45 an hour. That's $13,500 a year after taxes. That's $10,000. That's $800 a month. Are you going to live on $800 a month independently? No way. Not with the car you want, the apartment you want, the clothes you want, the stuff you want to do. You're not going to make it. There's no pension, there's no vacation, there's nothing. That's the future. Now, 41 years ago, I'm kind of aging myself, when I graduated from high school, only about 1/3 of us went to college. 2/3 could go out from high school and have great careers. It's changed radically. Radically changed. Here's college right now. This is what's going to get you. I just picked 3 degrees. That is the percentile of hiring 6 months out. As you can see, you get a business degree, 75% of you will be working and starting at about $47,500. If you don't realize, that's a good starting wage. If you got that math geek in you and you want to go into the engineering field, about 72% will have jobs 6 months out, $55,500. If you get a liberal arts degree, psychology, philosophy, sociology, those liberal arts degrees, there's the percentile hiring. Look at the 2-year schools. Take a look at these. We're very familiar with the UW system. We're not as familiar with the Wisconsin technical system. There is 300 degrees in that system. I did this presentation once, I got it all done. I said, okay, what'd you learn? What'd you learn? One young raised her hand, she said, I'll tell you what I learned. I learned I'm going to be a dental hygienist. Not bad, 2 years of school, $50,000 a year, 100% employment, 6 months out. If you can stand working in people's mouths all day, go for it. Okay? What'd you learn from this slide? You learned that a high school diploma is not enough. Okay? Higher, lower quiz. Oh, little quiz question here. This is really cool. I love this little piece of data. I'm a data freak. I love data. They did a study of all the kids that successfully graduated from college. They said, what's the #1 indicator that we know who's going to make it while they're still coming up through the, the high school things? All these things were important factors. They all impacted whether or not they would graduate from their four-year institutions. For example, your high school GPA is very, very important. Your household income, that factored in. Your course curriculum, by the way, the rigor is getting more and more. They're looking at that. What did you take for classes? Gender is huge. I can tell you right now, I can predict right now, graduation rates based on gender. Also your 9th grade GPA. Out of all those factors, guess what was the #1 indicator for success? 9th grade GPA. If you come in from 8th and 9th grade, if you nail it, freshman, if you get it down, you're going to get all the way through. Your freshman year could be your most important year of your life, and you didn't even realize it. And we're 3/4 of the way through. And you got 1 more fourth to just kind of step it up. Higher, lower quiz. Those numbers underlined are all wrong. Not one of them are correct. The number should either be higher or lower. Let's take the year 2015, which is coming really quick. Out of the 100% jobs created in the last 10 years, okay, what percent of those jobs are going to need an education post-secondary? Higher than 62% or lower? Absolutely. We're going to get close. By the time you're through there, close to 70% of all jobs are going to require some form of education after high school. That's a lot of jobs. This is really fascinating. This is maybe the #1 reason I'm here. I have been very fortunate, been very blessed the type of work I've been able to do. Of 100% of the people that went to work today, got in their cars, got on a bus, got everything, got to work, what percent would have loved to walk up to their boss and said, I hate this job, I quit. I'm done. What percent of 100%, what do you think, what percent of those people wanted to get out of their job? 51% can't stand their job every day. Why do you think they go there? Money. They got to pay their bills. What percent of the people that get up every day and go to work say, we all have bad days at work, believe me. But they really say, gosh, I'm blessed. I really love what I do. That number, 18%, is not correct. What percent? Is it higher or lower? Lower. 9%. 9%. See, guys, I'm going to present some information that I just want to empower you to be able to control your life and not let life control you. About 40% of people who go to work every day are kind of okay with their job, but they're kind of looking for other things. Hey, do we have an unemployment problem in this country right now? No. Absolutely not. There are 3.8 million jobs right now, as I speak, unfilled. We have a skill problem in this country. We are not graduating young people like you ready to go into the areas that are paying higher jobs. 3.8 million jobs that cannot be filled right now. Primarily, jobs that need 2- and 4-year degrees because of a skill gap problem. We have no unemployment problem. This is a little interesting piece of data. So they did a Great Lakes study in the spring of 2011, so 2 years ago. We lost 318,000 jobs. Those were high school diploma and less educated kids. We gained not 421,000, higher or lower? Higher. We gained 521,000 jobs with young people who had 2- and 4-year degrees. You see, there is power in an educated mind. You have no idea, none whatsoever, how much power there is in your dreams, in your skills, in your ambitions. Okay, here's why I came here today. I want to give you relevant information for empowering you in the realization of career goals. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I want you all millionaires. Seriously, not by winning a lottery ticket, by finding a job that's incredible and pays you incredible. See, I want to retire someday. I want to make sure my Social Security check comes in every month. It's all dependent upon you having good jobs and keep paying in Social Security. Okay, a little bit of greed on my part, but I do. I want you to have great jobs. I want you to approach school different. I want you to come to school every day with purpose, hope, vision, ambition. I want you to change your attitude as to the way you approach your education, whether you're a freshman, whether you're a senior, whatever it is, starting next year, whatever you're doing. Okay, here's my background, very unique. I've been in this business 37 years. I've taught every grade from 1st through 12th. Seniors, don't be offended by this, but I love first graders more than I love 12th graders, okay? They were so much fun down there. I've been in the business world for 35 years. I've sold real estate, I've developed subdivisions, I've helped build houses, I've done it all up here. Okay, so I've been a very, very busy guy. I got 32 years of parenting. The majority of this information comes from there. And I had 9 years of post-high school madness. I had all 3 of my boys in the UW system at one time. You guys were so cute when you were young. What happens? No, you're still good looking. Sam, Joe, and Dan all went to this school. There's Danny at the soccer sectional final down in Onalaska. That team went to state. They won the soccer sectional final 9-0. No other team in the history of the state of Wisconsin has won the soccer sectional final 9-0. There's Joe. There's my middle boy. Okay? Joe went to high school here, played some basketball, played some soccer, did a little high jumping. Both those boys went on to UW-Madison. Here's my oldest son, Sam. Okay? Sam could jump. Sam could play sports. That happened in the middle school gym. There's this old gym here before we had this new building. That's where we would play. I learned so much of what I'm going to present from those boys. All awesome boys. Great kids. My life changed dramatically. The family life of the Larsen house changed dramatically on August 19th, 2004. It was my graduation present to Sam, graduating from UW-Eau Claire. It was his last year. He was captain of the soccer team, most valuable player, and we had planned a kayaking trip to Lake Superior almost a whole year in advance. We got up early that day. It was a beautiful day. We got out on Lake Superior. We were doing a sea cave thing, and the weather started changing rather rapidly, rather dramatically. Made a decision to head back to the car. It wasn't a good day to be out on the water, and Sam's kayak tipped over. And then my kayak tipped over. And then for almost 4 hours, we fought for our lives together. In the last hour of Sam's life, he was in my arms. Sam was 6'1", 6'2", 165 pounds. Hypothermia started setting in, and then divine destiny took over. Sammy died in my arms that day. I lost my number 1 son. Tremendously painful, difficult thing to do. Great kid. You know, a son should talk about a father's legacy, but I certainly learned quickly that I would be talking about my son's legacy. You see, in 23 years, Sam figured life out. He got it. And as we started celebrating Sam's life, it was just incredible. 1,200 people came to his wake. 1,000 people came to his funeral. Within 24 hours, I had 120 kids from UW-Eau Claire at my house. And they just told me stories about my son. I knew my son. I had a great relationship with my son, but I didn't know the depth of my son. I didn't know what he had learned about life already. He learned it wasn't about him. And I kept hearing story after story after story about how Sam touched lives. I could talk in full hours just on that. I think today I'm going to talk about Tim. We were all done. It had been an exhausting week. We had just finished up services and everything and a meal. And Tim came up, kind of a shy kid a little bit, and said, he was at UW-Eau Claire, said, Mr. Larsen, I know you've heard a lot of stories. I know you've heard everybody say Sam was my best friend. But I got to tell you one story. I was a freshman at UW-Eau Claire. It was October. I wasn't doing well. I was going to drop out. I didn't feel like I fit in. The classes were hard. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I knew of Sam, though. Everybody knew Sam already. He was a good athlete. He was just a great kid. But I didn't even know Sam knew me. And one day my dorm door gets kicked in and Sam comes, Tim, come, you're coming with me. I'm like, whoa, Sam, where are we going? What are we doing? He said, we're going to come play basketball. Tim, you've been sitting in your dorm room too much. This is not a good sign. I know exactly what's going through your mind. Come on, you're going to come with me and play basketball. Sam, I don't play basketball. Come on, you're coming with me. Get your stuff. Mr. Larsen, we got to the gym. We got to the McPhee Center. And Sam comes up and says, Tim, what do you do well on a basketball court? Nothing, Sam. I don't play. Come on, you got to do something. He said, well, when I was a kid, I used to shoot free throws. He said, that's it. That's all you need to say. He said, Tim, every time I get the ball, we're going to run down court. You run around that free throw line. As soon as the ball touches your hands, you shoot. You don't listen to anybody else. You just shoot. And then he smiled and he said, Mr. Larsen, I scored 6 points. He said, from that day on, I knew I would make it through UW Eau Claire. See, that's the kind of kid Sam was. He brought purpose in life, purpose and hope to everybody he met. It didn't make a difference. I got letters from 5-year-olds and their parents to 60-year-olds, all telling me about Sam. I could always count on Sam. Okay, who are my history people in here? Who loves history? I better see a lot of hands go up. Come on, history geeks. I'm a history geek. Okay? I love history. Now, important point of the story. Important point of the morning, so you got to focus in right now. We're going to go back 3,600 years. We're going to go to the Middle East. We're going to go to a wandering group of people, nomadics. They finally settle in a valley called Ebre. They settle down and the people around them call them Hebrew people. And they start to build a civilization. It takes them about 1,000 years and they build this incredible civilization. They're monotheistic, not pluraltheistic. They have one God. They build a city called Jerusalem. They build a temple. It's so incredible that the pharaohs come and visit them. Like, wow, what a civilization. History people, here's your question. What do we know about all great civilizations? They rise up and then what happens? They crash. And this one crashed hard. A king by the name of Nebuchadnezzar, leader of the Babylonians, came in and just wiped them off the face of the earth, literally. Took their city and just drove it right down to the ground. Shackled their people. Led them into the wilderness. They had no hope to live. They lost their agrarian-based society. They lost their holy temple. They lost everything. There was no reason to go on. End my life. And then an incredible thing happens. One of their holy men, one of their prophets, gives one of the most incredible prophecies of all time at the lowest point of their lives. When there was no purpose of going on, when there was no hope, he said this, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. See, this is all about your future. It's all about bringing a hope to you. Now, I wish, oh man, do I wish Sam was here. He's much better looking. He's great orator. But if Sammy were here, he would say right now to every single one of you, number one, he'd want to know every one of you. He would never discriminate against anyone. He would be every one of your best friends if he had the time. But Sammy would believe everybody in your circle, your family, your counselors, your teachers, your friends, everybody can and will believe you can achieve your dreams. Here's a great story. Here's a grad from this school. So about a year ago, I'm reading SI. I'm an SI geek. That's how I relax. Olympics are coming up. They're talking about the new Paralympic athlete, you know, the double amputees and what they can do and all the new stuff. I'm reading this article about Sparky Lake. Wow, Sparky Lake's pretty cool. And I'm going, this light, durable prosthetic thing, Sparky Lake, developed at Arizona State. Arizona State? Arizona State. Hey, Ryan went to Arizona State. Now, Ryan was my youngest son's, Dan's, best friend. Coached Ryan in soccer for about 6 years. Who are my math geeks? Be proud of it. Very good. Love it. Math geeks, you will rule the world. So be very proud of yourselves. Okay? When Ryan was about seniors, Ryan was about your stage, right about now. I remember talking to him. He said, you know, Mr. Larsen, I got this pretty good offer. Arizona State said, we'll pay your room, we'll pay your board, we'll pay your tuition. We want you to come over or be a math geek at our college. We'll pay for everything. By the way, every one of our dorms has a tennis court and a swimming pool. You think Ryan took the deal? Ryan took the deal. He got through that program and they said, hey, Ryan, you're a really good math geek. We've got this program here called biomechanical engineering. We want to pay your room, board, tuition, and we want to give you a stipend to live on. How about $20,000 a year just to go to school on top of paying everything? Think he took the deal? Ryan took the deal. And then he got through that 2-3 year program. This professor said, hey, Ryan, I got a startup company. I want to hire you. I want to pay you some money to go to this program. I want you to make 60, 70, 80,000 a year. I got some cool ideas. So I'm reading this thing, and all of a sudden my wife says to me, Hey, Len, come here. Ryan just posted something on Facebook. And I look on Facebook, and you see the bottom of that foot and that ankle? Ryan simply says, hey, my ankle and foot made it into SI. In the developmental project, I developed the ankle and foot. Are you kidding me? A kid from Northland Pines, 25 years old? Do you think he's got a future? Did I tell you there's power in an educated mind? Your dreams should inspire you because they inspire me. I work at Lakeland High School. One of my jobs is to career plan, so I do a lot of that. This is one of my little subgroups of kids. These are the things they want to be doing in 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Okay? But these aren't just dreams. These things are actually happening. Healthcare people, raise your hand. Who might be interested in healthcare? Ben's doing a great job. DBT, I call him all the time. When you get old like this, you get injuries and you get pains. And Ben's always giving me exercises over the phone to try to do. He went to Stevens Point, played rugby. Went to Madison, played rugby. Went to Carroll College, got a DBT. Graduate from Three Lakes students. Sorry, one of my old students there. Who am I out? This is my favorite job. Who are my outdoor people? Okay, this is one of my 6th graders at 3 Lakes. He had no idea he'd be doing this. Here's his day job. Gets up at 5:30 in the morning, gets into his truck from the Department of Natural Resources in Montana. It's got an ATV, picks up his partner. He manages elk herds in the northwestern part of Montana. Not a bad day job. I think I could do that job. Okay? Ashley, double major, meteorology, environmental science. He's an air quality specialist out of Milwaukee. Flies all over the country doing air quality work for an environmental consultant firm. Great job. Okay? Graduate, Northland Pines right here. Love this girl. Double major, Spanish and English. Couldn't get a job. Went to Teach for America in San Jose. Did that. Outstanding young lady. Now she's doing Teach for America International in Costa Rica. She says, Len, you got to come down. Why don't you finish up your career teaching down in Costa Rica with me? Maybe I will. There's power in educated mind. There's power. This girl I had in 6th grade, she fell in love with rocks in college. She's a petroleum engineer for Shell Oil, living in Houston. About 28 years old. I've got students that are surgeons, and I got students that are surge techs. You want to go to school 2 years, you want to go to school 14 years. It's your call. Okay? Surge techs are outstanding careers. Oh. You know what? You got to give it up for this girl. Northland Pines graduate. It took her a long time to achieve her dream. Just finished her PhD out of Notre Dame. Notre Dame has hired her. This was always her dream. She is in charge of educational development through Notre Dame in Haiti. She is there right now with her 2-year-old son, developing public education in the country of Haiti. She walked, not these halls, but she walked this school. Kids from Northland Pines doing incredible things. Mike was a very creative guy. Great soccer player here, great kid. Got a degree at University of Minnesota in medieval literature. That's Mike. Decided he wanted to go to school of cordon bleu. That's Mike. So now in the winter, he loves to board and ski, so he's in Telluride cooking at fancy resorts. Right now, he's tired of that, so he's down in Costa Maya cooking along the resorts. Creative guy, free-spirited guy, living his dreams, doing cool things. Here's Dr. Nick. Who are my hockey goalies or soccer goalies? Do I have any in the room? Girls or guys? Raise them up. You guys are crazy. You're head cases. I coached this kid for 6 years, my soccer goalie. I had to get inside his head every time. And now he's going to take care of me because he is just finishing up his PhD in psychiatric studies. Okay? Graduate from Northland Pines. How many want to just make money and lots of it? Raise your hand. Okay? There's a few of you. This guy did it by going to UW-Whitewater, getting a degree in financing, and even in a tough, difficult thing, guess what? Great kid. Great kid. Coached him in soccer. Great kid. He's making a lot of money. This young lady, Denise, one of my students, she was not a college-bound student. Creative, great personality. She makes more money than I do right now. Okay? After 37 years in this business, she's making more money than I do. She went to 2 years of cosmetology school, opened up her own business in Milwaukee. Then she moved down to Miami. She's living her dream. Married with the kids, got her own business, got people working for her. She's just hammering it. Just having an outstanding life. Okay, this is the coolest one. This young man did not want any 4-year experience. He wanted a 2-year experience. He loved, who are my auto people, who are my engine people, who like to fix things, fabricate things, make things. Listen to this story. So he did not really want to work on engines. He was more into fabrication, electrical stuff. So he went to a specialty school in Texas. Okay? Works for Galpin Motors in Southern California. Works 80 to 100 hours a week. Unbelievable. He worked with the Air Force on a special project. They took a stock Mustang. This is called the Air Force Mustang. JD designed, fabricated, and installed the entire design of this inside of this car. And it is fully functional. That thing will even eject you if it has to. Did I tell you there's power in an educated mind? Okay, now I'm going to really get you excited. I'm going to hammer you right now. So don't take it personally, but take it personally. Big article in Newsweek, maybe a month and a half ago. Is college a lousy investment? Absolutely. It's the worst investment in your life if you're not ready. Fascinating article. If you are not ready to go on to the rigor and the demands of a college post-secondary experience, it could be the worst decision you ever made. It can cost you a lot of money. It can ruin your self-esteem because you can get hammered out there. It could be the absolute worst, and there's data to prove that. Here's our real national crisis, is our post-secondary rate. This data is staggering. If I did a coin flip, unfortunately, if we were to meet in 15 years and see how many of you actually had a degree, it wouldn't be that many. It'd be about 30% of you. That is not good news. Take a look at this. There's the 50% dilemma right now. These are our, I love UW Eau Claire. I'm a graduate. My wife is a graduate. Sammy went there. Joey went there. I love that school. UW Eau Claire, 16% of the kids are graduating in 4 years? That's not good enough. Only half the kids that go to UW Eau Claire are graduating? This is beyond sad. Do you guys know that? Did you realize that? 90% of you raised your hand to go to college. Do you realize only half of you are going to make it? I'm going to give you the data why. Here's the profile of a UW Eau Claire grad. This is staggering. 24 in the ACT, that's not bad. A 3.5, that's not bad. And only 16% of them are graduating college? What the heck is going on? When I did this program, when I started this thing, I started calling colleges up. I had questions, because I thought they were the problem, and they are to a degree. But I will never forget what the admissions person at UW Eau Claire said. So, Mr. Larsen, when you are talking to young people, you tell them this. We were not designed for 100% of their students. We're colleges, we're not high schools. We operate at a different level. And most of these kids, they all want to come to college. They all want to be here. But here's the breakdown. Number one, they didn't use their 4 years of high school very well. They don't have the core skills to walk on a college campus. They will tell me right now that between 70 and 80% of you do not have the English or the math skills really to enter a college level. That's what they'll tell me. That's the data they will give me. This is some tough data up here. Girls, you're rocking it. I need some knuckles right here. I'm going to tell you why. When I walked on the campus in 1972, 55% were male, 45% were female. By the year 2015, 65% of the 4-year people will be female, 35% male. You want to know why? Because the young men will not be able to qualify for 4-year institutions. I am on a college advisory board at Nicolet. I was at a meeting late last night. You know what the percent of transfer students are for females right now in 2013? 62% are females. Girls, you're rocking it. Keep it up. Keep doing it. Somebody's got to make this country run. Tough stuff. Inadequate core preparation. Now, discipline. Lack of academic study skills. When I told the Larsen boys, you want to go to college? Yeah, Dad, I want to go to college. Here's the deal. If you don't go to college, you're working 40 hours a week. If you go to college, you got 15, 16 hours to class. That means you got 25 hours just between Monday and Friday from 8 to 5 to study. Because if you're going to go to college, it's going to be your job. It's going to be your job. You're going to get a disciplined life to study. The data down there is shocking, it's staggering, it blows my mind. You're going to see 7.9 pop up through this presentation. It is ruining a generation of young people. 7.9 means simply this. Your generation spends 7.9 hours a day somehow electronically tuned in. Whether it's Facebooking, social networking, whether it's on your phone, whether it's video gaming, whether it's watching DVDs, whether it's with your earbuds in. 7.9 hours a day. Our young men are losing the ability to read. Your brains are being rewired right now, according to a study at MIT, because you're getting stimulated by short-term things. So, the data on the right. High school teachers, you're not going to like this one. You already know it. Out of your classroom time, kids are spending 12% of their waking time engaged in anything academically. 12%. 88% of the time, they're doing something socially or electronically or on their own. Colleges, it's about 80-18. If you go by that data, you will not make it. It doesn't shock me that we're at a 50%. Because I guarantee you, when I was in college, we didn't have all that nonsense going on. And I can guarantee you, I spent more than 18% of my waking time outside of my college classes, and I wasn't that great of a student studying, diving into my education. So first two reasons, inadequate core. Second, lack of academic studies. Okay, this is going to be the hardest 5 minutes of the presentation, but I will not back down. I'm going to tell you some hard things. Every day you get 1,400 messages. Most of them subliminal. You don't even know they're coming in. I'll give you an example. You walk into a classroom, you sit down, you get your things ready, and there's a couple kids in the classroom who care less. They're modeling horrible behavior. They're sending you a message telling you this means nothing, don't pay attention. Teacher doesn't even do anything good. You look on the other side, there's somebody all ready to go. There's messages, boom, boom, boom. They're pounding you all the time. You see them visually, you hear them musically. They're all over the place, 1,400. A lot of good, some bad, some horribly ugly. I call them dream destroyers. They are destroying dreams at all times. The stuff like this, I could find this every single day if I want to. It crushes me to find data like this. These people did not send their kids to Northwestern University, their young son, to drown from a party afterwards in a bay in Lake Michigan. That's not why they sent him there. The year Sammy died at UW-Eau Claire, 3 young men died that year, all in the Chippewa River, all drinking. Okay? I'll get to some of that data in a little bit. Here's what I'm seeing, the major thing. This is the number one thing. I changed this. I rearranged this a little while ago. What I'm seeing and what I'm sensing is this incredible entitlement you young people feel. You just feel it's automatically all going to happen. Like, yeah, I'm going to go to college. Yeah, I'm going to graduate. Yeah, I'm going to get a great job. Yeah, I hope so. Okay? But you got to get rid of the academic apathy. You're going to have to work. Alcohol, drugs, social networking, sex. It's painfully destroying. There's my 7.9 hours. Facebook, video games, music, texting, sexting. I read an article just yesterday. Crushed me. I cried. A young lady was raped. The guys took pictures and put it on social networking. She committed suicide 2 days later. That's painful. That should not be happening. Those are painful things. I keep it on my laptop. I have one of the saddest emails ever from a parent. One of my favorite students, a young man on the internet, got hooked into pornography in his teen years. When he was 21, he made a horrible decision. And he will spend many years in prison as a result of that. His life is absolutely destroyed. He will be marked as a sexual predator the rest of his life. Guys, this is hard for me to talk about, but I will not be afraid to address it. Young ladies, I apologize for how sexualized we have made this society. It is horrible. The image that we have painted that you feel that you have to take on. It is horrible. This next data really is hard on me, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. Before we go there, just so, if you're thinking of professional programs, if Laura Mangles was here from from Nicolay, nursing director, she would tell you if you get a UAD, a DUI, any of those things, don't even try for a healthcare career. Don't try for an education career. Don't try for a career in criminal justice. Don't try for a career in this or that. Those things will just wipe you out. They're dream destroyers. They don't care who you are. They'll wipe dreams away. One young lady had a full scholarship to Northwestern for volleyball. It was worth over $200,000. Signed, sealed, delivered. She was a senior. It was about this time of the year. She went to a party. There was drinking. She got busted. Underage drinking. They took her scholarship away. $200,000 scholarship gone. She went to a tech school. Nothing wrong with going to a tech school. Dream destroyer. This may be the most painful. We're going to graduate a lot of kids from college in 2013 in about a month. 25% of the girls are going to graduate with a permanent sexual transmitted disease for the rest of their life. They did not realize they were going to go to college to get a sexually transmitted disease. If you decide to become sexually active at a young age and continue that, you are 4 times more likely for the rest of your life to suffer moderate to severe depression, young ladies. I can tell you that right now. Hard stuff. Do you think a guy like me wants to address a great group of kids like this about this? No, but yes, I got to tell you. I got to tell you these things. 20% of our college kids are addicted to prescription drugs. This year, the class of 2013 that entered college, 159,000 kids dropped out for one reason alone: alcohol. Came onto a campus, couldn't handle it, alcohol. 160,000 kids gone off of college, dream destroyed, alcohol. Guys, get a grip on those things. I got some data that's going to show you it's pretty cool. Okay, so you get through you got the right stuff. You did high school well. You learned how to study. You got through the dream destroyers. Now, those of you right now, I know there's a percent of high school seniors, juniors, that are really looking at some of the professional programs. So this is just kind of like sage advice. Sam wanted to go into education, but he didn't figure it out till about his sophomore year, second semester. So he looked at the manual, it said you need a 2.75, showed up at the education department, had a 3.2. Said, okay, I'd like to apply. And they literally laughed, said, Sam, you'll never get into the School of Education at UW Eau Claire. What do you mean? It says 2.75. We've never allowed anybody in with that for 10 years. Let me give you an example. I called UW Eau Claire. And I said, I got to ask you something about your nursing program. How many are thinking of nursing? Just raise your hand, just a little bit. Okay, just there's a few of you, okay? Healthcare. I called them and said, I got to ask you a question. When I was on campus 40 years ago, you allowed in the fall, 40 kids into the nursing program, and in the spring semester, 40 kids. Is it the same way? Oh yeah, it's the same way. Okay, cool. It says in your manual 3.0 and take these classes and you'll be in the nursing program, yeah? Yeah, it still says that. I said, how many kids are applying? Oh, between 120 and 150. When's the last time you had a 3.0 in there? And she just laughed. And this is it. You can call up tomorrow. If you don't have almost a 4 we had the valedictorian at Lakeland a few years ago get a 3.81 her freshman year at Eau Claire and got denied into the nursing program. So those of you that are looking at professional programs, before you choose your school or when you choose your school, I just had a kid in my office the other day. He's going to UW Eau Claire for business. I called up the head of the business department. I said, I'm looking at your manual. Is it true or not? That what you're telling me here, if he does these things, will he be in the business program? He said, absolutely. I said, but it's not true about the education and nursing. He said, I know that. But we stick to exactly what we say. If you want to go to nursing, you can go in pre-admitted to nursing at Northern Michigan. At UW Eau Claire, you got to prove yourself. And it's not 3.0, it's 4.0. So those of you that are looking at professional programs, and some of you, freshmen, sophomore, junior, seniors, you're already thinking engineering, you're thinking education, you're thinking health science. Get an understanding when you're searching your schools. So if all this takes place, Sam got denied out of the education program, found a different track that worked for him. But when all this mounts up, now kids are like, oh my gosh, no pathway, no direction. I'm feeling a little despondent. I think I'm going to drop out. Okay? If we did a better job at the high school level and college level, we could eliminate unemployment by 30% right now. We wouldn't even have any type of problem in this nation. And then financial pressure builds up and yuck. Okay, all the bad stuff's gone. Now we're back to fun stuff. These are all great stories again. All kids doing incredible things. There's Luke that went down the Madison Media Art Institute. 18-month program. Northland Pines graduate. He's got his own band, but you know, that's not paying his bills. What's paying his bills is the lead sound and recording engineer for Discover Wisconsin. Okay? They're all doing incredible things. Josh, emergency room nurse, New York City, walk these hallways in here. Okay, all living their dreams. But this might be my favorite story. Okay, this might be the one I like the most. I had this kid in 6th grade, he drove me crazy. He was a squirrel. He climbed the walls every day. Every day I walked into school, I said, how am I going to handle this kid? He's driving me nuts. Right now he makes $92,000 a year, flies as a captain for U.S. Airways, has a beach condo on the western coast of Florida. Here's his day job. On Thursday he gets up, hops a commuter, goes to New York. That's where he flies out of. Goes to LaGuardia. Then he goes to, from there, I think it goes to Cleveland, Detroit, and Philly and back. And then he's back at his condo. I asked myself, why did all these kids make it? Let's simplify this. What made it happen? Okay, number one, hope. They knew there was a career dream inside of them. They knew it. They knew it was there. They weren't afraid to discover it. Then they had great vision. This is the key. Everything you want to do has an academic pathway. Discover it. Seniors, if you haven't looked at the curriculum you're looking at all the way through in college, you need to do it now. There's an academic pathway for everything. Ambition, that's the drive. Parents have a role. We're going to get through that. Parents, if the parents are in here, and there are parents in here, I keep this very simple. Northland Pines grad, sociology major, math minor. Here's his job. Who would like to live in the big cities? Downtown Chicago. We got to have some city people, okay? Michigan Avenue on one side, Lakeshore Drive on the other side. I'll condense the story. Because of that math minor, and these three things, great work ethic, great respect for people, and develop some skills. He's doing oncology research in a research team. They approached him and put him in a pre-med program. He's going to finish that one up soon, and he's either going to be a PA or doctor, all because of some skills, all because of respect, all because of a work ethic. Okay? Guys, there's three things that have to happen. What we must do in this school every day, you come in with three questions. Number one, do people care about you? I can tell you, this staff, these teachers, this administration, this community cares about you. We really do. We work hard on that. Here's the second question you ask yourself. Can I get my own way? No, absolutely not. We know what we're doing. We have great curriculum. We have great rules in our schools. We want them safe. And finally, the relevancy question. Why do I need to take that? I'm going to take all three of those questions away. Educators, we do. We have the greatest job in the world, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And we have the most difficult job in the world, without a doubt. Absolutely, without a doubt. We need to build a relationship with these kids and encourage them. UW-Eau Claire, a lot of kids raising their hands. If anybody's thinking of UW-Eau Claire, my story is very quick on this one. I had a young lady who wanted to go there. Her GPA was 2.99. Her ACT was 20, but she said, well, I'm captain of this, and I was president of this, and guess what? She didn't go to UW-Eau Claire. Here's a Northland Pines grad that's sitting in a chemistry class right now because she didn't take chemistry in high school, and she's in a chemistry class in Nicolay, and she wants to be a vet tech. She's going to make it, though. Cool kid. Okay, a couple of my favorite stories. David had the right stuff, never asked why. Had him in 6th grade, watched him in middle school, never asked why. Had a big dream, Air Force, got in. Here's his day job. That's his day job. Troy, same thing. Every lesson I taught, Troy always listened, always paid attention, always had his homework, whether he liked it or not. Here's Troy's day job. You know what? He is saving us from that crazy guy in North Korea right now, because Troy is 800 feet below sea level in a fully armed nuclear sub. There's a reason the North Korean guy's scared to death to push his button. It's because of Troy. Troy is a nuclear tech engineer. He pilots that submarine. I love this story. This kid dropped out, expelled, kicked out of our high school in Three Lakes. Came back in. I knew he had some skills. I knew he had a work ethic. I knew he could respect. He went from a life of washing dishes to a life, he got a degree in welding. He's doing fantastic stuff. Relevancy. They got it. Students, what's your role? Number one, rigor. 5 by 4. I don't know what your graduation requirements are, but you better take 4 years of math, 4 years of science, 4 years of social studies, science, 4 years of English. And whatever your dream is, if you need some Spanish, if you need some foreign language, take it. If it's in the tech area, take it. If it's in the art area, take it. Rigor. Engagement. I'll explain that. Honor code. No cheating. If you try it in college, boy, they'll boot you so fast you won't even believe it. You're gone. They will not tolerate it. GPA, important. Keep it where it needs to be. Come to school every day. And this is one simple rule I tell my kids at Lake. I got one rule, 45-60. If you're not doing 45 to 60 minutes of homework 3 to 5 nights a week, that's bare minimum. Okay? You do these things, you're in. What do I mean by engagement? Respect every lesson you go to. Come organized, prepared, all the time. Be ready to learn. Be excited. Develop a work ethic. Learn how to take tests. Explore. If every job opened up tomorrow, only 20% of the jobs in this country need 4-year degrees. About 90% of you. So explore. Don't be afraid to look at 2-year programs. They're outstanding. Explore what you want to do. Some of you have made $20,000 a year. Scholarships are coming up in what, about 3 weeks? I'll be here. Some of you have made about $20,000 a year going through high school, because there's schools like Ribbit and Norbert's and generous people in the community who are ready to hand you money. Freshmen, listen to that. They're ready to hand you money. Here's where the jobs are going to be. Look at the growth. 100% in computer science areas. There are jobs out of there. There are all sorts of jobs. But we need kids with skills. Okay, one story about myself. I'm winding down. I'm close to my time. One story about myself. This is it. This is why I'm here today. Out of all those things I told you, all those kids I talked to, they never mentioned any of those things. Here's what they said, and this is what I had to make a decision after my freshman year of college at UW-Eau Claire. I had a lot of good friends. I had a great time. I got through school the first year simply because I didn't want to flunk out. Did not want to come back home. So I had to make a decision. My good friend Rick, I was a sophomore, he said, "Hey Len, why don't you come and live with us? Water Street and 5th Avenue, we got a great house. 7 guys are going to live in there. Tim's going to live in there. We're going to have a great time." I knew exactly what he was telling me. I knew exactly what I'd get in that house. It would be the #1 party house in UW-Eau Claire. Then my other buddy Tom said, "Hey Len, why don't you come and live with us? Bob's going to live there. Pete's going to live there. 2 farm boys. Pete's country doctor's son." I knew exactly what I was going to get there. Good guys, both of them good guys. I had to make a decision. Do I go live with Rick, or do I go live with Tom? We all 4 graduated in 4 years, got our degrees, all 4. I learned so much from hanging around the right people. It's that simple. Those guys, only 2 out of 7 ever got college degrees. It took them 5, 6, 7 years. Guys, that picture is all Sammy's soccer mates at my house. The last couple years of Sam's life, he didn't call me much for advice anymore, because they took care of themselves. They're all doing phenomenal things. Phenomenal things. Economic plan. I just drove over. We had a good discussion. College is expensive. Some of you can't afford it. Nicolet is a great place to start. I push it hard. They got an incredible transfer program that will guarantee you acceptance into Madison, into Superior, into Stevens Point. You can save $10,000 to $15,000 a year. Okay, I'm finishing up. We're going to change it completely, because Sam never got to graduate, never got to do his thing. His life got cut short. There's a reason that sign is out on the soccer field, and it's not because of Sam's athletic ability. I'm going to tell you that right now. Was Sam a good athlete? Sam was a really good athlete. You've had a lot of good athletes here. Sam was a good athlete. Coaches, if any of them were in the room, and I think maybe one is, did you work with Sam a little bit in track, right? Or you weren't here? Yeah. But anyways, he was a good kid to work with. But that is not why his name is on that soccer field. You know why his name is on that soccer field? Because of this. Because he figured something out. He figured life was not about him, it's about what he could give to others. And that's all he did, was give and give. Guys, you guys have a gift. You have character. You have all these traits to give to somebody. Loyalty, dependability, respectful. Go through life with these things, okay? Because you have a very special gift. Somebody needs you. Now, one of the coolest things ever said about Sam, and a lot of cool things were said, we just celebrated his 32nd birthday. He's got an eternity of them just last week. And this was posted on Facebook. I loved it. It just summarized my son in one sentence. All of our lives became better the day we met Sam. All you had to do was meet him. Guys, you have that gift inside of you. Okay, 4 months after Sammy passes, I get a call from UW Eau Claire, and they said, Len, we're hurting, man, we're hurting. The campus is hurting, the professors are hurting, the kids are hurting, the community's hurting. We miss Sam. We've had kids die on this campus. We've been around for 110 years. We've never done this before. We would like to give a scholarship in Sam's name every fall under leadership. Do we have your permission? And I said, why don't you write it up? Why don't you send it to me? Man, did they nail it. Did they know my son? Sam exhibited true blue gold spirit and will be sorely missed by all who knew him. This scholarship in his memory is to recognize future Blue Golds with a similar zest for life. That boy, he just loved to live. He just loved it. But he had a passion for improving the lives of others. You see, Sammy just loved to live. But he lived to love. God bless you guys. Finish strong, okay? I hope this made a difference in your life. Take something, take a couple nuggets and run with this. And I can't wait. I loved it. I evaluate these things, and I loved it. I got a text from one of my kids a year ago. He said, Mr. Larsen, I'm going to be the best thing you've ever talked about in one of your presentations someday. And he's out at the University of New Hampshire working on it right now. Thank you. Do I just dismiss to their classes? Who's going to make an executive decision here? Yes. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.